What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Got some pretty big things today, including more talks about how Tesla could be making $1 trillion from this one branch in their business. It's not the car branch, it's not the battery branch, it's just simply the autonomous driving branch, which is talked a lot about by Cathie Wood, who manages ARK Invest, one of the best funds on Wall Street, phenomenal returns. If you check out some of the ETFs like ARK-K or ARK-Q, they're up like 300-400% in the past 5 to 7 years. It's pretty incredible in my opinion. And we also will be talking about the $19,000 Tesla, or maybe even $18,000 because of some price incentives and also this upcoming cheap Tesla. It's looking like these cars are becoming super affordable, and it could just be the end for gasoline cars straight up. First of all, let's just talk about the Tesla bull, Cathie Wood. She recently added roughly 130,000 Tesla shares to 3 of her ARK ETFs recently. And that's pretty awesome because Tesla recently has been going down, and a lot of fund managers, if they seem to like the stock, they will buy the dip. And this is exactly what ARK Invest did. And the ARK-K ETF bought roughly 90,000 Tesla shares. The ARK-W ETF added roughly 30,000 shares, and the ARK-Q ETF roughly 13,000 shares. And so far, a lot of people ask Cathie Wood and ARK Invest, why would they keep buying more Tesla when the share price is already so high? And one of the craziest reports, it's called a Big Ideas 2021 report. ARK Invest calculated that the Robotaxi fleet managed by Tesla could generate more than $1 trillion in annual operating earnings by the next few years, more specifically 2030. This is a really big strategy, and Musk has been working very tirelessly to make the best autopilot system, and so far he's been doing a pretty good job. You got the full self-driving beta. It's already out pretty much, and they're updating software every 5 to 10 days. In the full self-driving beta, I watched several Twitter videos and also YouTube videos, comments on Reddit, etc. People really seem to like it. Even though it is still in the beta phase, it's doing really well. A lot of individuals who use the FSD beta in major cities, they say that it could recognize pedestrians, marks on the road, stop signs, traffic lights, other cars nearby, etc. and even actually swerving away from upcoming accidents or super heavy traffic and find better routes, etc. So it's actually a really unique car. It's super smart, and no other vehicles right now in the market could do something like this. Like if you look around, for example, the Mercedes-Benz EQ series or General Motors, who is coming out with a lot of electric vehicles. I think every company is coming out with electric vehicles, but most of these companies are not working on their autonomous driving system, which is exactly what Tesla's doing. Remember how a few years ago, Tesla spent a lot of money on just simply electric vehicles, trying to electrify their fleet, come out with as many vehicles as possible. Well, now everyone is doing it. So if Tesla just keeps doing it, it doesn't make anything special. So Tesla is mainly focusing heavily on autonomous driving and their Robotaxi fleet, which could generate more than $1 trillion in annual operating earnings by 2030. So why not do it? Because right now companies are focused on electric vehicles themselves and no one is focusing on the software, whereas Tesla is. So it's big. And by the way, this software is constantly being updated, so it gets better and better over time. It doesn't use LiDAR sensors, it only uses traditional cameras. 360 degrees, it's mostly data driven than LiDAR, and it's a lot cheaper. LiDAR is super expensive. In fact, if you want to add LiDAR to Tesla cars, you're going to be paying several $1,000 more. Like some LiDAR sensors, just one of them costs like $800 to $1,000 for just one LiDAR sensor, and you need a ton of those on a single autonomous vehicle. And by the way, we could be seeing full self-driving at the end of this year. You heard that right. Full autonomy for Tesla vehicles, transitioning from highways to cities and vice versa, and driving just as good or better as a human driver. That is something I want to see, and Musk has tweeted that out on Twitter, saying that will happen at the end of 2021, since initially back in 2020, he promised that robotaxis will be announced at the end of 2020, which never happened, but I guess full autonomy should be announced at the end of 2021 and robotaxis sometime in 2022. I mean, I'm really excited to see what could happen. No other company right now are as close as Tesla to the Robotaxi network. If you think about it, if you can make money by renting your car out fully autonomously as like a Uber or Lyft car and make $10,000 to $20,000 a year, that seems super appealing. Some people will probably buy 2 or 3 Teslas and rent them out. That's really big. You could probably see like a bunch of Teslas on the cities and also on the highways. This is like a really big money maker. Imagine paying roughly $600, $700 every single month for the next 72 months for a Tesla Model 3. That's pretty expensive. But what if I tell you could cut the cost down by half or even all of it if you rent out your Tesla on the Robotaxi fleet for maybe 1 or 2 weeks every single month? That just seems super appealing. Essentially, you get a car for free. It's like an electric vehicle that's really good that you pay no money for. This is exactly what the Robotaxi fleet is trying to do, and Elon Musk knows this, and they also will be taking a pretty massive cut from the Robotaxi network, very similar to how Uber and Lyft takes a cut from each trip. And lastly, we've got to talk about this cheap Tesla that's coming out. So remember the $25,000 Tesla, right? Well, this thing is essentially real. It's pretty much, the leaks are fully approved and the $25,000 Tesla car is going to be in a reality. Now, we should be seeing the $25,000 Tesla. It could be a hatchback, and it's built on the Model 3's platform. The Tesla Model 2 is what this cheap 25 grand Tesla is called, is already approved. It was actually approved last year, Q3, Q4 of 2020. There were like a lot of papers and leaks talking about this. Now, we should be seeing product certification around March of this year. First delivery of the car next year, Q1, 2022. The Shanghai Gigafactory Phase 3 is already under construction. The research and design team has already hired several individuals around the city areas and local talent. So they're pretty serious about this. They've already sent in their licenses, certification to build a 3rd Tesla model in Shanghai. I wonder what car is that? It's gonna be the Tesla Model 2. And by the way, we could be seeing Tesla showing off the Model 2 in the Guangzhou Auto Show in November 2021. Keep in mind that this is 1 to 2 years faster than what was announced back in Battery Day. So everything's being set up and everything's being sped up by Tesla. It's looking pretty good. And if this vehicle comes to the United States at $25,000, remember Biden has a $7,000 tax credit, and that could be applied to the $25,000 Tesla. It's fully electric, so essentially you're only paying $18,000. $18,000 for an electric vehicle? That is something super amazing. That is cheaper than most gasoline cars out there. 0 emissions, you will never have to do an oil change. Very low maintenance. You'll never have to get expensive gas again. You just charge it for a few bucks and it looks super nice. So this is something that everyone is looking towards, this really cheap Tesla, and hopefully in the next few years, the Biden administration will keep adding on more tax credits, maybe even more appealing ones, because these tax credits really get people to buy the Tesla vehicles. Right now, with the government's pushing it, and also Tesla cutting prices even on the Model 3 and the Model Y, things are looking pretty good. I think with the Tesla vehicles being more affordable, it's going to be a huge deal. People love the vehicle, and so far, I mean, I'm absolutely down for a cheap Tesla. And remember how I talked about the Robotaxi network? Well, can you imagine buying like a $20,000, $25,000 Tesla and just renting out as an autopilot taxi and making like $10,000, $20,000 a year? That just sounds super appealing to me. And I could clearly see a lot of the gears turning in your heads. This is a pretty big moneymaker. This is why ARK Invest is saying this is the next $1 trillion market for a Tesla. Thanks for watching.